Hello all, and welcome once again back to the fire pit. I thought today, instead of coming here and asking questions and telling you about my troubles, which I'm still having a lot by the way, I would tell you another story. There were a few who said they liked what I did with telling my story. And this actually has two purposes. One, it tells you how great the group of friends I had in high school really were. Two, it's just funny. And actually, I actually think it's more funny. Sorry about that. I actually think it's more funny than it is talking about friends. But please leave a video comment, leave a text comment, which I believe is on that side. But I'm not sure. Yeah, tell me whatever. Anyway, here's my story. And I have affectionately titled it FootBall. When I was in high school, I was probably sophomore in high school. I met people that I hadn't seen for years through the Special Olympics, which I only went to like twice because I was involved in another organization called Sports on Wheels. Anyway, um, in high school, I had gained a group of friends. Some of them I had known since middle school. Some of them I had met, once I was in high school and whatnot. Most of my friends were football players, baseball players, whatever. I spent a lot of time in the gym at school. I also had the occasional burnout friend. I had the geeky friend that was very good with computers, and we had a lot in common that way. But I think the people that I hung out with the most were the rocker, wannabe football player, whatever you want to call them. Well, one day I was over at my friend's house, and we all decided there's like a group of 20 of us, and we decided we were going to play football. Now, usually we played at a field by his house, but this particular day, we got there and the gate was actually chained with a master lock on it. That's the first time in 15 years I had ever seen that gate locked. And to be honest with you, I've gone back there and I've never seen that gate locked since. Anyway, we couldn't get through the gate to get me on the field. So I figured, you know what? Find somebody else, because all I do is quarterback. Find somebody else and you guys can play football and I'll watch. And I've got I had Game Boy or whatever. No, I had Sega Game Gear at the time. I said I'll just sit here and play catch or whatever. Well, my friends wouldn't hear it. They wanted me to play. And they knew I liked playing and I liked being part of the action. Well, they actually two of the larger friends that I had, the jocks, actually lifted me up out of my chair, and one of them stood behind me, and they sat me on top of this fence, chain link fence, with the bar on top, whatever. So they balanced me on this fence, and the guy came over and he lifted me off the fence and put me in the grass. And then proceeded to get my chair inside this area. So now I've gone from being outside the fence where I couldn't get in to being inside the fence. and we played football and whatnot. And my ride came to pick me up, who affectionately was my grandmother, or ultimately. She kind of looked at us and said, "How did you get in there?" And I said, "Mom, you won't believe me if I told you." And I told her the story of how we got to the field and the gate was locked. And I had mentioned that I would sit outside and play catch with somebody while they were playing, touch football or tackle football, whatever. Um, I'd play my PSP, or not PSP, Game Gear or Game Boy or whatever, and they wouldn't hear it. They wouldn't hear it. So they lifted me over the fence and they put me in the game. Now, how many people? It it amazes me at times the negative reaction I get from people when they find out I'm disabled. Again, those same people change their outlook when they realize that I'm not much different from any other person. I'm able to think. I can use my hands fairly well. You can take that as any way you want. Um, I had my friends, I had relationships and whatever, but it just amazes me that out of all the negativity that I saw growing up for people that were disabled, and the negativity that I see now, there are those few that kind of touch you. And it was pretty much the same thing as anybody else. There was peer pressure, there were the bullies in school. Um, you kind of take it as they come. But I really had a great group of friends. And if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be, or wouldn't have experienced the things that I did. Not because I wouldn't want to, but because I could never find anybody that would take the time out and help. No matter what it was. Whether it be because the counter was too high or because certain places weren't accessible. It really and truly humbles a person when you turn around and you find that clique of friends, male, female, whatever. I don't know. I kind of, now that I'm doing this video, I'm realizing that it's quite a bit longer than I want it to be because now I'm just rambling. A lot of fond memories. A lot of memories. What will I ever do? This is Lord Nighthawk. This is the fire pit, which I still haven't figured out how to do a fire. Something at the bottom of my video. Whatever. Anyway, blessed be, and have a good day. Goodbye.